The purge tool lives under data management, purge media. If you use the default setting, display associated media for current project, and consider following media types: uncompressed video, compressed video, video caches, audio caches. So basically all kinds of media. And click on refresh purge list. It will find all the media, absolutely all the media that's associated with this current project. So if we were to purge this, it would delete every single piece of media that's associated with this project. We can do the same thing for current sequence, and it will give us a shorter list, because these are the media files that are associated only with this current sequence. And as you can see, this project has many sequences, not just this one that's loaded up on the timeline right now. We can use this logical operation except for current sequence, refresh purge list. DS will queue for purging all the media files that are not associated with the current sequence. This particular setting, you see, we left keep media used in other projects. I said earlier that media, whether it's .gen or .mxf media on the DS, can be used by multiple clips and multiple projects. So if you're not sure that, there are cases where, you digitize or you capture some files, but they're used not just by a current project but some other projects. By checking this, you would ensure that you're not deleting anyone else's media. One very common use for purge tool is deleting unreferenced media, which is media that was orphaned in the process. For example, what I was doing earlier, trying out different effects, changing them, and then abandoning that approach. All that stuff leaves the drives cluttered with media, and all those clips are considered unreferenced media that can be deleted, so you can free up your space. But remember that the little demonstration that I did of going back to your original setting and changing parameters so they match a part of the animation that we had before, so DS doesn't re-render but relinks to the existing caches. All that's made possible by these caches down here. So if we delete them, we're going to free up the drives. However, we're also going to disable our ability to have DS go back and automatically relink to those things if we set the parameters the same way they were there originally. But if you need to clean up your drives, this is a really quick and good way to do that. The optimize for quick storage recovery and maximum storage recovery. Quick recovery is pretty fast. Maximum storage recovery is actually going to split the cache files to trim off the portions that are no longer used, but save those portions that are used. And this can be time consuming depending on how much media you have. And one last thing about the purge tool, a tip for faster working. The best thing to do is to create a blank sequence that has nothing in it and save it. And the reason for that is whenever you do something, when you change these parameters in the purge tool and say refresh purge list, very often you actually have to save, the indexers have to save the current sequence so they can accurately know what's going on in the system. If you have a long sequence like a 45-minute TV show or feature film or something like that, the saving part can take a long time. So if you're experimenting with these settings and you have to, each time you change something, the purge tool will want to automatically save the sequence, it can really slow you down. So what I do is I create a blank sequence, just a little dummy sequence, for the purpose of being able to do this fast. You've probably noticed that I haven't actually deleted any media while we were in the purge tool, and the reason for that is I wanted to go back to the media tool and look at one more thing. What I will do is we'll drag the projects folder down here to see the list of the projects, and we'll take the tutorials project, drop it here on the media, and this is all the media that I have associated with this tutorials project. The first column, name, if we sort by the name, you can see that it's easy to tell which files are caches and which ones are not. The files that have some sort of resemblance of a file name, like tut underscore non-premult, tut underscore premult, these are files. Video caches say explicitly vid cache, so if you want to sort out stuff by that and then delete video caches just by multiple selecting them and right-clicking and taking delete option, you can do that too. Aside from a name, there are some other useful things you can sort stuff by. If you have a project where you used standard def footage to cut the offline and you want to delete that, you can sort by the video frame size and delete your standard def, leaving any high def stuff in the project if you have any. You can also delete by compression and so sort out and delete by compression. And the last thing I wanted to show you in here is if you right click on any of these and select link, we have actually linked to the file. If I go here to my sources, you see there's a clip, a linked clip with that system determined cryptic name. Let's see what that cache is. If I load it here, press play. It's not very useful. It's just one frame of something we were playing with before. But if you had an orphaned media file, like for example, if you deleted a clip by hitting delete on the keyboard, which deletes the clip but not the media, you can sort of recreate this clip by linking back to it. As far as how indexing works under the hood, I'll be honest and tell you that I have no idea. But if you press Ctrl-Alt-Delete and look at your Windows processes in the Task Manager, let's sort them by the name, you will see two processes. One is called ummds.exe and another one is called consumer mgrs.exe. This one here is the project manager, and ummds.exe is the media indexer. When you first boot up your workstation, you'll see that the media indexer and the project indexer are working hard, and depending on the amount of media on your drives, it could take, it could be instant, or it could take sometimes as long as 15 minutes for all the media to get indexed. Sometimes also the media tables created by the indexers get damaged when you shut down Windows. What happens is the Windows operating system gives a specific amount of time to all these processes to finish and shut down, but on occasion it takes longer for the media indexer and the project indexer to shut down than the amount of time the Windows allocates for that. So they will shut down prematurely and they may corrupt the media tables. The proper way to shut down AvidDS would be to go to your support console, uncollapse this, go to Services and Applications, click on Services, and shut down several services in here. Before we do that, I'm going to quit DS, and I will scroll down this list, look for Service Location Protocol. You can shut it down by right-clicking on it, selecting Stop, and this will also stop Avid Media Indexer and Avid Project Indexer. If you look up here now, the Media Indexer and the Project Indexer both stopped. Over in the Windows Task Manager, you don't see ummds.exe and you don't see the consumer mgrs.exe. You can also look up a lot of good information on this subject from DSWiki. There's some things that I actually haven't gone over with you in this tutorial, but if you go to dswiki.wikispaces.com and look at DS A to Z, under letter I, there's an entry on indexing that's loaded with information on how to stop and start indexers, how to delete indexing tables, and a lot of good stuff. So again, that's dswiki.wikispaces.com. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll keep coming back with more stuff.